Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Fix this up. All right, y'all. 1920. Alicia. Hey, Aunt Anita. Betwabble, y'all. Top of the day, top of the day. Listen, before we get started, I got to tell you about this dream that I just had. OMG. I swear for Bob, it was more like a simulation, like I was being tested. It felt so real because I woke up and like the achiness from my arms is just now wearing off. Like, okay. All right. Okay, let me say the day. It is Thursday, February the 20th. 2020 is 20. 3 20s in a row. Second month, 20. All right. But anyway, it's day 77 of year 2, and we're reading the last 3 chapters of Judges 19, 20, and 21. And tomorrow we're going to read the whole book of Ruth. Okay, now real quick, let me tell you about this dream, right? Okay, so now one of the good benefits of doing a water fast is, or at least with me, I get this like boost of energy, especially during the night, so I don't sleep as long as I normally do. I went to bed last night, pretty late, really. Went to bed after midnight, seriously. And then I woke up completely energized about 4 o'clock, seriously. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I ain't staying up. I'm going back to sleep, but I couldn't go back to sleep. So I stayed up probably about an hour reading. And then it was like, I'm going to take advantage of these last 2 hours because we had to drive almost 2 hours a day to go to a meeting up in Richmond, right? So, but I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, look, Pam, so I got my sleeping mask, put it on my face. I was like, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep this last hour and a half, right? So I finally fell asleep. And then in my dream, I was walking. You know how you walk, you have a book in his hand. So I was walking. It was a nice sunny day. I was like walking. It was an older neighborhood, though. It's like an older neighborhood with brick homes. So I was walking down the street, nice and sunny day and all. I could see it change. Really, it didn't really change where it got dark, but it just started drizzling. And as it started drizzling, I noticed that the house by this time that I was in front of, it was a brick house with stairs leading up. That there was like a Lisa, you probably know, those, that the tent that I bought for Sukkot. Okay, it was like one of those tents, like it wasn't across the street, but it was like across the street, but it was still the same side of the street, but there was a meeting and there was grass. It was like a front yard with like a sidewalk and then the grass over here. It was like they had that set up right there in front of their yard, and it was white. And so I was like, ooh, I can walk in here real quick. And it had like all 4 sides and everything. But there was a difference, and I'll tell you about the difference when I go in. So the one that I got is the stakes, the 4 stakes you stick in the ground. You can get the cover, and you zip up the sides, right? Okay, so I went in there. I was like, start drizzling. I was like, oh, let me just step in here for a quick minute while it's drizzling, so I don't get too wet. Because I still had a wet, not a ways, but I was on my way somewhere. But I figured I'm just ducking here until it stopped raining. When I ducked in, I realized inside of the tent that it wasn't dry like I thought it was going to be. And I looked up, and in the ceiling it had holes, like little tiny holes, like bigger, probably about the pin. It's holes all in the top, but they weren't like all over the place. They were like in rows, lined up. And I looked up, and I had my glasses on, and water started hitting. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this thing had holes in it. It's taking on water. I'm probably get wet in here. So I walked around. I was like, nope. Going back out. I didn't like walk around. I just kind of like looked over to my right or whatever. I was like, yeah, I can't stay in here. I still had my book in my hand. So when I go back to go out, and mind you, when I walked in, it was just like a push open. And I walked in, the little flap was like unzipped open, But when I went to go push it back open, that joker was like it had been zipped shut. And I'm like, And I just pushed it. And then I realized not only as it was zipped shut, but you can adjust the levels of the tent like I had. And it seemed like, and I thought to myself in a dream, I was like, well, maybe when I came in it adjusted, because I noticed the roof had come down. Okay, the roof had come down to where it was like low. So now I'm like, oh, and I can't get out. Now I'm starting to panic. So I was like, I'm lifting up this thing. Look in the dishwasher, baby, get your cup. And so I was like, this thing ain't opening, so I'm going to pull it up from the bottom. And that's when I realized it was different. It wasn't the 4 stakes like I used. It was literally like a metal square that it was set onto, and it was secured down at the bottom. And so I'm lifting up the metal thing, like using all my strength and stuff, and I'm struggling. I darn near went down on one knee. I took my book and put it on the ground, and now I'm panicking because it's like, oh my God, I ain't gonna be able to get out of here. I was like, I'm thinking all these things going through my head, and it's just like, why did I walk into this tent? I'm just trying to stay dry. And like when I say I was using all my strength, like I was about to die in that little tent from some water, drizzling rain, like I was hurting myself trying to pull that tent up, and it seemed like the more that I struggled to pull it up, the tighter and closer it got to the ground. And when I saw it got tighter, that's when I went down lower to my knees. I was like, I'm gonna squeeze under here. But it was like, if I squeeze under here, it's gonna catch my neck. So I tried it a little bit, and every time I tried to go under it, it would come down harder, and there was no way I was gonna get out of that tent. And I'm in there panicking and stuff, and all of a sudden I heard this voice say, stop. And I'm like, and it was like I was stood up, and there was a woman walking down off the steps. And she said, I shouldn't call my husband to help you either. And I'm looking like, what? Like, mind you, I'm trying to catch my breath, and I'm looking around, my darn arms hurting and stuff. I'm trying to struggle to get this thing up, and I realized the tent was back to normal size, and it was open. She was walking down, and she had like white shorts and a tank top. I mean, it was like covered tank top or whatever. And it's just a light-skinned black lady. It's an older lady. And it was like, she looked at me, and when she said it, it was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm about to die out here trying to get out this tent. She just looked at me, like shaking her head, like, I shouldn't call my husband out here to help you either. And then it was like I heard, don't panic. Pay attention. Look around. And then I heard her, she said, fix my tent. And I looked around, and when I looked this way, I noticed the other two sides of the tents were completely open. And I'm like, were they always open? And I felt stupid in the dream. Okay, y'all ever seen, it was like this little kids comedy show where the guy was driving a drop top car, and he said, I'm gonna lock you in here. And he locked, imagine the drop top was down, the windows were down, and he was playing with the guy. It was like a funny show where he said, I'm gonna lock you in the car. And he locked the car and slammed the door, and the boy inside the car screaming, trying to go out. And I'm like, dude, you idiot. And then he was standing there laughing. He was like, let me out of here. Like he was freaking out, let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out. And I'm looking like, this idiot, don't you realize the drop top is down and you can just climb over the side? That's how I felt. I literally thought about that. And I'm like, I felt so foolish. And it was like, she looked at me again. She said, fix my tent. And when I looked, I went over there and I grabbed the side of the tent, the metal poles and stuff. And I put my foot on the base, and I looked, and I saw the stake that was holding it down in the ground was missing. So I'm looking around, and there was a tent over here, the tent peg over here by my other foot. So I picked it up, and I put it in his hand. And I'm like, Pam, why didn't you just turn around? And I'm putting it in. I put it down in a hole, and then I took my foot, and I didn't use my whole foot. And that's when I realized that the ground, it wasn't muddy, but it's like the ground when it's a dirt ground and grass, when it's the rain just started to hit it. It wasn't that loose, but it was loose enough to, with just a little bit of pressure, put the stake through the hole and put it down. And I had to put two in there. But when I did it, I noticed when I used my foot that I had shoes on, but I noticed when I went to put the tent peg in, I was barefoot. And I didn't even use my whole foot. I just used my big toe. And I didn't even have to use that much pressure. And I pushed it all the way. I was like, that's a lot of power on my big toe. Look, I just thought about something when that's another whole process. At least you might have caught that. But then I realized, I was like, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of, I said something like, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of force I got in my big toe. And then I just fixed it. And then I woke up. But when I woke up, literally, I woke back up like 20 minutes ago, right? My arms were burning. I'm like, what? What in the... I immediately remembered the dream. I'm like, what? Why are my arms really hurting? Like, it felt like it was so real. That's why I was like, I think it was a dream, but I don't know if it was more like a simulation, maybe like an astral projecting something. I don't know, but it was real because I woke up and my arms, like literally the soreness is wearing off now. But it was wild, y'all. It was wild. So, but what I took from the whole thing is when I was there, it was funny. The woman was like, I shouldn't call my husband to help you either. It was like, they kind of like, girl, is you that dumb? You didn't just turn around and look like you got stuck in an open tent. You like literally about to hyperventilate, pass out in here because you didn't turn to the side. Girl, look, I needed help with that test. Girl, I feel so dumb right now. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, Leisha. Like, I woke up, I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, giggling, stretching my arms. I was like, and I thought about that too. I was like, darn, I needed help with that goddamn test. But what I took from the whole thing as I began to think about it while I was walking down the stairs, what I heard as I was in there after she said, fix my tent. It was like, don't panic. Pay attention. Look around. Look around at your resources. Look around at your other options. Is there another way to get out of here? And that didn't dawn on me while I was in there. It was like, it's like the fight or flight response kicked in, and I got tunnel vision because that was the way I came in. That was the way I need to get out of here. And now it seemed like somebody cut off this, and it was like when I saw that and I saw I couldn't get out of there, it was like nothing else kicked in. Like this was the only way in and the only way out. But it was like a plastic tent, y'all. If all else failed, I literally could have took something off me, an earring or something, and punctured through and got out of there. But none of that clicked. I was just, I'm stuck in here, and water coming in, and it was drizzling, y'all. It wasn't like massive flooding inside the little tent. It was like little holes, like pin tip holes in the top, and it was just trickling in. But I went in complete panic mode, and I'm thinking about this, like, I'm like, man, do I really do that? I'm like, is that really inside of me? So I got to think about that. I wanted to share that with y'all, but that was wild. And I really woke up, like I said, the pain from my arms from really lifting up that tent. It was really like I was pushing against brick, and it was a flimsy tent. I mean, they're sturdy, but my sons, 9, 7, and 5 helped me put that thing up. If they can do it and put it together, I mean, why was I having so much trouble with that? So it's causing me to think about other things deep within inside of me. So, but it's crazy. It blew my mind. So let me go ahead and start this reading. Tiffany, you just missed this dream that I just told. You have to go back when I'm done with the reading for the day. You got to go back and listen to it. I take probably about 7 minutes to tell you about it. I just had it, and it felt so real. Okay, y'all. But that's a lesson. I'm definitely gonna be thinking about that all day today. And it was like it was something so simple, and I didn't even pass that test. It's like stop. It was like I heard it stop, and I'm like stop. And it was like I was backed up, and the tent was back whole again. And I'm like, what is this? Okay, Tootie. Okay, you can ask Dad to do this. Yeah, you could have. Okay, all right, y'all. Okay. You ain't gonna be doing all that sniffling and stuff while I'm recording. Okay. All right, y'all. So if you missed that, just go on back and watch it, okay? So let me hurry up and get through the reading for the day. It ain't gonna be that long. 19, 20, and 21 of the book of Judges. It's the last 3 chapters. Okay, y'all. Judges chapter 19. And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. And his concubine played the whore against him and went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. Stop, girl. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodge there. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, Be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry. And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. And the damsel's father said, Comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until afternoon, and they did eat, both of them. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, and the damsel's father said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward evening. I pray you, tarry all night. I'm like, look, bruh, you didn't help me here. This is the third. Let me go. I would have been like, bro, what is you up to? Okay. I pray, behold, now the day draweth toward evening. I pray you, tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem, and there were with him two asses saddled. His concubine was also with him. And when they were there by Jebus, the day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn in into this city of the Jebusites and lodge in it. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger, that is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. And he said unto his servant, Come, and let us draw near to one of these places, and lodge all night in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were in Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. And they turned aside thither to go in to lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat down in the street of the city, for there was no man that took him into his house to lodge. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at evening, which was also of the mount of Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah, but the men of the place were Benjamites. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man said, Whither goest thou, and whence comest thou? And he said unto him, We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim, and from thence I am. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but now I am going to the house of Yahuwah, and there is no man that receiveth me to house. Yes, there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and wine also for me, and for my handmaid, and for the young man which is with thy servant. There is no want of anything. And the old man said, Peace be with thee. Howsoever, let all thy wants lie upon me, only lodge not in the street. So he brought him into his house, and gave provender unto the asses, and washed their feet, and did eat and drink. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto him, and said unto him, Nay, my brother, nay, I pray you, do not do so wickedly, seeing that this man is come into mine house. Do not do this folly. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. I will bring them out now. I'm like, first of all, who gave you the right to offer us up as whores? Like, your own daughter and the man you just met, you gonna offer up his concubine? Just because she's his concubine don't mean she can be their concubine. I'm like, I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 24, Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and your virgin daughter at that. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. I will bring them out now, and humble ye them, and do what ye seemeth good unto you, but unto this man do not do such a vile thing. You protecting his butt, but you ain't protecting them, bruh. We shouldn't have stayed at your house. But the men would not hearken unto him. So the man took his concubine, and brought her forth unto him, and they knew her, and abused her all night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. And then came the woman in the dawning of the day, and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her lord was, till it was light. And her lord rose up in the morning, and opened the doors of the house, and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. And he said unto her, Up, let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon his ass, and the man rose up and gat him unto his place. And when he was coming to his house, he took a knife, and laid hold on his concubine, and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces, and sent her into all the coasts of Israel. So, if you didn't catch that, when he came out there that morning, when he said, Up, let's go, she was already dead. She had already given up the ghost. I mean, I keep reading. And it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done nor seen from the day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt until this day. Consider it, take advice, and speak your minds. What kind of knife was that? Girl, it had to have been like a machete or something. But, I mean, to cut it down through the bones and everything, divided in 12 pieces. I mean, if the edges weren't serrated, I mean, he was maybe really skillful with that knife, but he was able to chop her entire body up into 12 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. He divided the middle part, and I don't know. Maybe he probably didn't cut the fingers, but he probably big members, the arms, the head, the leg, and divided up the middle section into however many pieces. Maybe took a breast here, breast there. I don't know. I don't know how that worked out, but. Whew. Chapter 20 of Judges. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man from Dan even to Beersheba with the land of Gilead unto the land of Mizpah. And the chief of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen that drew sword. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were going up to Mizpah. Then said the children of Israel, tell us how was this wickedness? And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came to Gibeah that belongeth to Benjamin. I and my concubine to lodge. And the men of Gibeah rose against me and beset the house round about upon me by night, and thought to have slain me. And my concubine they have forced, and she is dead. And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel, for they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, ye are all children of Israel. Give here your advice and counsel. And all the people arose as one man, saying, we will not any of us go into this tent, neither will we go any to turn into his house. But now this shall be the thing which we will do unto Gibeah. We will go up by lot against it, and we will take 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 of 1,000, and 1,000 out of 10,000, to fetch victuals for the people, that they may do when they come to the city of Gibeah of Benjamin, according to all the folly that they have wrought in Israel. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. And the tribes of Israel sent men throughout all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, what wickedness is this that thou hast done among you? Now therefore deliver us the men, the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death, and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel. But the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities unto Gibeah, to go out to battle against the children of Israel. And the children of Benjamin were numbered at that time out of the cities 26,000 men that drew sword, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, which were numbered 700 chosen men. Among all this people there were 700 chosen men, left-handed. Every one could sling stones at a hairbreadth and not miss. And the men of Israel, beside Benjamin, were numbered 400,000 men that drew sword. All of these were men of war. And the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of Yahuwah, and asked counsel of Yahuwah, and said, which of us shall go up first to the battle against the children of Benjamin? And Yahuwah said, Judah shall go up first. And the children of Israel rose up in the morning and encamped against Gibeah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin. And the men of Israel put themselves in array to fight against them at Gibeah. And the children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah, and destroyed down to the ground the Israelites that day 22,000 men. And the people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves and set their battle again in array in the place where they put themselves in array at the first day. And the children of Israel went up and wept before Yahuwah until evening, and asked counsel of Yahuwah, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And Yahuwah said, go up against him. And the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day. And Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground the children of Israel, again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of Yahuwah and wept, and sat there before Yahuwah, and fasted that day until evening, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahuwah. And the children of Israel inquired of Yahuwah, for the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, Shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin my brother, or shall I cease? And Yahuwah said, Go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into thine hand. And the Israelites set liers in wait round about Gibeah, and the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day, and put themselves in array against Gibeah, as at other times. And the children of Benjamin went out against the people, and they were drawn away from the city, and they began to smite the people, and kill, as at other times, in the highways, of which one goeth up to the house of Yahuwah, and the other to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And the children of Benjamin said, They are smitten down before us, as at the first. But the children of Israel said, Let us flee, and draw them from the city unto the highways. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place, and put themselves in array at Baal-tamar. And the liers in wait of Israel came forth out of their places, even unto the meadows of Gibeah. And there came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of all of Israel, and the battle was sore, but they knew not that evil was near them. And Yahuwah smote Benjamin before Israel, and the children of Israel destroyed the Benjamites that day 25,100 men. All these drew the sword. So the children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten, for the men of Israel gave place to the Benjamites, because they trusted unto the liers in wait, which they had set beside Gibeah. And the liers in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah, and the liers in wait drew themselves along, and smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now there was an appointed sign between the men of Israel and the liers in wait, that they should make a great flame with smoke rise up out of the city. And when the men of Israel retired in the battle, Benjamin began to smite and kill the men of Israel, about 30 persons. For they said, Surely they are smitten down before us, as in the first battle. But when the flame began to arise up out of the city with a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the flame of the city ascended up to heaven. And when the men of Israel turned again, the men of Benjamin were amazed, and they saw that evil was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness, but the battle overtook them, and them which came out of the cities, and them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them. Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about, and chased them, and trode them down with ease over against Gibeah toward the sun rising. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor. And they turned and fled toward the wilderness unto the rock of Rimmon. And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and pursued hard after them unto Gidom, and slew 2,000 men of them. So that all which fell by day of Benjamin were 25,000 men that drew sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness unto the rock Rimmon, and abode in the rock Rimmon 4 months. And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin, and smote them with the edge of the sword, and as well the men of every city as the beasts, and all that came to hand. Also they set on fire all the cities that they came to. Last chapter for today, Judges chapter 21, is also the last chapter of the book. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, There shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife. And the people came to the house of Yahuwah, and abode there until evening before Yahuwah, and lifted up their voices and wept sore, and said, O Yahuwah, God of Israel, why is this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? And it came to pass on the morrow that the people rose early, and built there an altar, and burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel said, Who is there among all the tribes of Israel that came not up with the congregation unto Yahuwah? For they had made a great oath concerning him that came not up to Yahuwah to Mizpah, saying, He shall surely be put to death. And the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and said, There is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by Yahuwah that we will not give them our daughters to wife? And they said, what one is there of the tribe of Israel that came up not to Mizpah to Yahuwah? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly, for the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, and the women and the children. And this is the thing that ye shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath lain by man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man by lying with any man. And they brought them up to the camp of Shiloh, which is the land of Canaan. And the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Rimmon, to call peaceably unto them. And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives, which they have saved the life of the women of Jabesh Gilead, and so they suffered them not. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that Yahuwah had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, There must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. Howbeit we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the daughters of Israel have sworn, saying, Cursed be he that giveth a wife to Benjamin. And they said, Behold, there is a feast of Yahuwah in Shiloh every year, in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, and on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, on the south of Libonah. Therefore commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, Go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then ye come out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. I mean, you just really told your men to go be pervs, go stand in the bushes and wait. When you see them coming out dancing, do you grab you one? What kind of advice is... I'm going to keep reading. And it shall be, when their fathers or their brethren come unto us to complain, that we shall say unto them, Be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war. For ye did not give unto them at this time, that ye should be guilty. And the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number of them that danced, whom they caught. And they went and returned unto their inheritance, and prepared the cities, and dwelt in them. And the children of Israel departed thence at that time, every man to his tribe and to his family. And they went out from thence, every man to his inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did which was right in his own eyes. Clearly, because you're giving your people perverted advice to get you a wife. There was no king in Israel. And everybody did what they wanted to do at that time. All right, y'all. So that's our reading for today. I need to hurry up. We got to get out of here. It is 7:34. All right, quick recap. It is February the 20th, 2020, day 77 of year 2. We read Judges 19, 20, and 21. All right, and if you came in late, you might want to go back to the beginning to listen to this real dream or simulation that I was in this morning before I got up here on this video to do the daily reading. But it was really, really interesting. It was funny, and it made me think. So you got it. I take about 7 minutes to explain the dream. All right, y'all. So go look at that. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and bless y'all. We got to get rolling.
Mom, yes, you draw me.
I'm not gonna draw you. Hold on. Okay, may Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us.
Right here.
You did. You drew right there. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace, his shalom, his salama, his wholeness in every area of our life. And may he give it to us. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. All right, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the morning.